今日もお付き合いいただきありがとうございます。今日の主なニュースを英語でお送りします。
The Fukuoka High Court on April 23 dismissed an appeal by 7 plaintiffs in a Minamata disease recognition lawsuit. They argued that prefectural governments unfairly denied their patient status. The court upheld the initial district court decision, which also rejected all claims. This marks the second dismissal for the plaintiffs seeking patient recognition.
On April 23rd, the Nikkei stock average in Tokyo briefly surpassed 60,000 yen for the first time, setting a new intraday record. Buying in AI-related stocks drove the surge. However, concerns over the Iran situation led to a subsequent pullback, causing the market to fall back after its historic high.
Munetaka Murakami hit his 10th home run of the season, marking the fastest pace for a Japanese player in history. This achievement ties Shohei Ohtani's record. Murakami's powerful hit was part of his impressive 5th consecutive game with a home run, showcasing his exceptional form this season.
The Oita District Court on April 23 dismissed a lawsuit by 6 disabled persons against JR Kyushu. They claimed that unmanned stations violated their freedom of movement. The court ruled that JR Kyushu's remote support and staff dispatch upon request were reasonable accommodations. Thus, no illegal infringement of rights was found.
A forest fire in Otsuchi Town, Iwate Prefecture, that began on April 22nd continues to spread. Firefighting efforts resumed on April 23rd, with prefectural and self-defense forces helicopters assisting. The town reported the burned area is approximately 200 hectares. The blaze is now approaching residential homes, causing significant concern.
Osaka police arrested 35-year-old Rimi Yamaji on April 23 for allegedly abandoning the body of a newborn male infant in her room. She admitted to the charges, stating she gave birth to the child. The body was found in a closet drawer after a cohabitant noticed a decaying smell, leading to the discovery.
A bill to establish a National Intelligence Council has passed the House of Representatives. This legislative move aims to strengthen the nation's intelligence capabilities. The bill is now expected to be enacted during the current Diet session, marking a significant step towards enhancing national security and information gathering.
The ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran was extended after a second round of talks failed. President Trump's delegation did not go, and Iran refused to participate. John Bolton suggested President Trump's public desire to end the conflict gave Iran a negotiating advantage, reportedly forcing him to extend the ceasefire.
A 40-year-old former employee of the luxury watch sharing service Toke Match, who was internationally wanted, has been arrested. He is suspected of defrauding watches valued over 18 million yen. The man left Japan around the same time as the former representative, arrested last December, leading to his international pursuit.
As President Trump announced a ceasefire extension with Iran, a significant gap remains regarding the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has seized 2 vessels, declaring passage impossible. The U.S. insists on open access. The crucial question is whether negotiations can materialize, given these stark disagreements over the vital waterway.
次は社会のニュースです。
A record 317 people were arrested in 2025 in Japan for online casino involvement. This figure, released on April 23rd, is 38 more than the previous year. Police reported that about 70% of these cases involved storeless online casino operations, indicating a growing challenge for law enforcement.
A former employee of Toke Match, a luxury watch-sharing service, was arrested on April 23rd. Daisuke Nagata, 40, is suspected of fraud involving 15 luxury watches worth 18 million yen. He was internationally wanted after fleeing to the UAE. Nagata was detained in January 2026 and transferred to Japan today.
Forest fires in Otsuchi Town, Iwate Prefecture, continued burning overnight, affecting about 155 hectares. Starting April 22nd, the fires led to evacuation orders for over 1,000 residents. Houses were also damaged. On April 23rd, the prefecture established a disaster special alert headquarters and requested self-defense forces assistance for firefighting.
A 24-year-old employee died at Tokyo Dome City on April 21st, crushed by a descending seat during flying balloon ride inspection. Police are now investigating the precise cause of this fatal accident.
With the new blue ticket system for bicycle violations, NITE, the National Institute of Technology and Evaluation, is urging greater bicycle safety. They released accident recreation videos, reminding people to perform safety checks before riding. This initiative aims to prevent accidents and promote safe cycling habits as public awareness grows.
In Fukushima, a 30-year-old self-defense force member was attacked by a bear on April 22nd, sustaining arm and wrist injuries. This occurred after extinguishing a grass fire at a training ground. Bear sightings had increased there, and SDF units are equipped with bear spray for such encounters.
In Fukuoka City, 3 workers and 4 nursery school children were hospitalized on April 23rd due to suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. The gas likely came from a generator during demolition work at Maizuru Nursery School. The children reported sore throats and headaches. All 113 children and staff were evacuated from the building.
The Japan Meteorological Agency will now call days with maximum temperatures of 40 degrees Celsius or higher extreme heat days. This decision reflects the increasing frequency of record-breaking heat each year. The new term aims to clearly communicate the severity of such extreme weather conditions to the public.
The liquidator for the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, the former Unification Church, has secured at least 40 billion yen of the organization's deposits. This measure is part of the ongoing liquidation process for the religious group, which has been ordered to dissolve by authorities.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
The Japanese government has advised MBK Partners, an Asian investment fund, to halt its acquisition plan for Makino milling machine. The machine tool maker announced this on the 23rd, stating that the government's recommendation was given to the fund. Following this news, Makino milling machine's stock price experienced a decline.
A bill to establish a national intelligence agency has passed the House of Representatives. This aims to strengthen the government's intelligence capabilities. The bill received majority support from both ruling and opposition parties and has now been sent to the House of Councilors. With this broad support, the legislation is expected to pass the House of Councilors and become law.
The Nikkei 225 index briefly reached a record 60,000 yen on the 23rd, marking a historic first. This surge was influenced by rising U.S. stocks and President Trump's ceasefire extension statement. However, the market later saw significant profit-taking. As a result, the Nikkei closed down 445 yen at 59,140 yen, ending a 4-day winning streak.
Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed held a phone call on April 23rd. They agreed to cooperate on transporting crude oil via the Red Sea, avoiding the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has effectively blocked. The leaders also confirmed their commitment to work together for the early de-escalation of regional tensions.
A system malfunction has affected some 7-Eleven convenience stores since this morning. Due to this issue, these stores are currently unable to place orders for products. The company is actively looking into alternative methods to restore ordering capabilities and minimize disruption. Efforts are underway to resolve the technical problem as quickly as possible.
The Mumori Exit Support Service has resumed new registrations under a new management system. The operating company, Albatross Co., apologized on the 23rd for past issues, including the arrest of its former director for violating the Lawyers Act. With Yuka Hamada now serving as the new representative director since April 1, 2026, the company pledges to prevent recurrence and restore trust.
The life insurance industry is grappling with a series of money fraud issues. Prudential Life saw over 100 employees defraud customers of 3.1 billion yen, with hundreds of new claims. Similar suspicions have emerged at Gibraltar Life and Sony Life. A common factor is the commission-based compensation system. The industry is now evaluating how to address these widespread problems.
Google announced at its annual conference that artificial intelligence will be central to its monetization strategy, especially human-like digital assistants. CEO Pichai reiterated Alphabet's 2026 capital expenditure plan of up to $185 billion, with significant investment in cloud-based machine learning. The company also unveiled new AI products, including an enhanced Vertex AI platform and new tensor processing units.
Japan's Liberal Democratic Party has drafted a proposal regarding the situation in Iran. The proposal suggests continuing diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions. Furthermore, it recommends that Japan consider dispatching minesweepers to the Strait of Hormuz. This measure would be taken as a contribution after a formal ceasefire, specifically if navigation in the strait faces any obstructions.
The House of Representatives Constitutional Review Committee held intensive discussions on emergency clauses. The Liberal Democratic Party proposed to deliberate on specific scenarios for such clauses. In contrast, the centrist Reform Alliance emphasized maintaining parliamentary functions, particularly concerning the relationship with the House of Councillors during an emergency. These discussions aim to refine the constitutional provisions.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Munetaka Murakami hit his 10th home run, the fastest by a Japanese player in MLB history. This was his 5th consecutive game with a home run, tying Shohei Ohtani's record. Meanwhile, Shohei Ohtani's streak of reaching base in 53 consecutive games ended.
Figure skating pair Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara will hold a retirement press conference on April 28th. They announced their retirement on April 17th. The pair made history by winning Japan's first gold medal in figure skating at the 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Olympics.
Shohei Ohtani pitched 6 scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts against the Giants. His ERA is now a league-leading 0.38. Despite his strong performance, the Dodgers' offense did not score, resulting in a no decision for Ohtani. His 3rd win of the season is still pending.
Shohei Ohtani played as a two-way player for the Dodgers against the Giants. As a pitcher, he threw 6 scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts. However, at the plate, he went hitless in 4 at-bats, ending his 53-game on-base streak.
Seiya Suzuki of the Cubs hit his 2nd home run of the season, a 2-run shot against the Phillies. This marks his 2nd consecutive game with a home run, putting him into a production mode. Suzuki also performed a dance celebration after his powerful hit.
The Japan Skating Federation held an awards ceremony for outstanding athletes. Figure skating pair Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara, Rikuryu, received the Joke Cup for Best Athlete. Speed skater Miho Takagi also earned an award. All were recognized for their achievements at the Milan Cortina Olympics.
reports indicate that the manager of Chelsea Football Club has been dismissed. This decision comes after the manager spent approximately 100 days in the position. Further details regarding the reasons for the dismissal are expected to be announced soon.
Takefusa Kubo made his first start in 16 games for Real Sociedad against Getafe. Despite his team losing 0-1, Kubo was exceptionally named man of the match. This marks his return to the starting lineup after recovering from an injury.
A U.S. administration official has reportedly asked FIFA to replace Iran with Italy in the upcoming North American World Cup. The official suggested this to President Trump, and FIFA President Infantino. Italy, a four-time champion, failed to qualify for the third consecutive tournament, while Iran's request for a venue change was denied.
Former Japan rugby international Peter Labuschagne held a retirement press conference in Tokyo. He expressed gratitude for his career, including helping Japan reach the 2019 World Cup quarterfinals. Labuschagne played 10 seasons with Tokyo Bay. Teammates Bernard Foley and David Bulbring also announced their retirements at the same event.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
A U.S. report indicates that approximately half of Iran's ballistic missiles remain intact, even after attacks by Israel and the United States. This suggests Iran may possess greater military capabilities than what the U.S. government had previously disclosed. The situation highlights ongoing tensions in the region.
Iran's Revolutionary Guard announced on the 22nd that it seized 2 vessels. The Guard stated that these vessels disrupted order and safety in the Strait of Hormuz. This action follows attacks by Israel and the United States on Iran, adding to the ongoing regional tensions.
The Trump administration is reportedly planning to ease cannabis regulations, according to a U.S. news site on the 22nd. The aim is to boost medical research. Cannabis would be reclassified from a high-risk drug, similar to heroin, to a lower-risk category, like painkillers. This move does not mean immediate legalization.
Mexican President Sheinbaum stated on the 21st that Japan requested an increase in crude oil exports. She indicated that Mexico would positively consider expanding these exports to Japan. This potential expansion comes as nations seek stable energy supplies and strengthen international trade relations.
Russia's military invasion of Ukraine continues, with ongoing fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces across the country. Many civilians have evacuated amid the conflict. This report provides updates on the combat situation and related international diplomatic efforts, reflecting the latest developments on April 23rd.
Despite President Trump announcing a ceasefire extension with Iran, differences persist regarding the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has seized 2 vessels and claims resuming passage is impossible. This contrasts with U.S. expectations. The focus now is on whether discussions can effectively bridge these gaps and resolve the ongoing tensions.
Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te canceled a foreign visit after some African island nations revoked flight permits for his plane. The U.S. State Department criticized this action, calling it China's intimidation campaign against Taiwan. This incident highlights ongoing geopolitical pressures in the region.
A U.S. Undersecretary of Defense stated on the 22nd that strengthening the U.S. military in Japan is a top priority, focusing on deterring China. The U.S. expects Japan to continue increasing its defense burden. Plans include reorganizing U.S. Forces Japan headquarters for better cooperation and deploying F-35 fighter jets to Misawa Air Base.
U.S. Navy Secretary John Phelan resigned on the 22nd, reportedly due to conflict with Defense Secretary Hegseth. Media suggest Hegseth was displeased with Phelan's direct communication with President Trump. This follows the Army Chief of Staff's resignation on the 2nd, causing executive personnel turmoil during ongoing operations against Iran. Hyun Kao will serve as acting Navy Secretary.
The U.S. Department of Defense officials informed the House Armed Services Committee on the 21st that clearing mines from the Strait of Hormuz after a war with Iran could take up to 6 months. A DoD spokesperson stated on the 22nd that such a 6-month closure is unacceptable. This highlights the significant economic and political impact of a prolonged blockade.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Haruki Murakami will release his new full-length novel, Kaho: The Tale of Kaho, on July 3rd. This is his first long novel in 3 years, priced at 2860 yen. It features a 26-year-old female picture book artist as the sole protagonist, a first for Murakami's works. An e-book version will also be available.
Model Kumiko Funayama, known as Kumiki, announced her 3rd pregnancy on Instagram on April 23rd. The 34-year-old shared that she felt both surprise and hesitation, but now she and her family are eagerly awaiting the new arrival.
Exile, celebrating its 25th anniversary, held a Tokyo Dome concert, their first in 3 years. B's guitarist Tak Matsumoto made a surprise appearance. They announced 25th anniversary Dome concerts in Saitama in November and Osaka in December. Veteran members Amatsu USA and Mekidai joined the Tokyo Dome show and will appear at the anniversary events.
Author Asako Yuzuki has withdrawn publishing rights for her bestseller Butter from Shinchosha. This follows a controversial Shukan Shincho column that allegedly discriminated against another author. Yuzuki cited concerns about the publishing system. Butter will now be published by Kawade Shobo Shinsha, with a new edition expected in mid-June.
At the Two Heroes live concert, Number Cell I member Yuta Jinguji and Tobe founder Hideaki Takizawa discussed the group's future. They hinted at intensifying Number Cell overseas activities. Takizawa mentioned a major announcement around May, stating that various things are in motion for the group.
The 4-member band, Sakai no Wori, announced on April 22nd their independence. They have established a new management company, SUNS Inc., run by all 4 members. Starting May 1st, this company will handle their operations. The band stated they will actively expand their activities under this new structure.
Play. Pokémon released an official statement on April 22nd regarding a disqualification at a Pokémon Go tournament. A player was stripped of their victory due to an overly emotional post-match celebration. The organizers stated the behavior was disruptive to the broadcast, leading to the decision.
An exhibition titled Hana-e Mori, Vital Type, is being held to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the birth of the renowned fashion designer. The exhibition explores Hana-e Mori's life, highlighting her global success as a designer and her contributions to fashion media. It showcases her colorful and glamorous dresses.
Netflix announced on April 21st that filming for the first ever live-action Mobile Suit Gundam film has begun in Australia this month. Legendary Pictures and Bandai Namco Filmworks are co-producing, with Netflix distributing. The release date is unannounced. Actors Sydney Sweeney and Shiori Kutsuna are among the cast.
A new Studio Ghibli short animated film, Night of the Witches Valley, will be screened at Ghibli Park in Aichi Prefecture from July 8th. This is the park's first original film set in its Witches Valley area. The screening will last several months. Tickets for July will be available from May 10th.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。